this point because you've seen more and more cities stand up to these kinds of things and more sports owners not go the referendum route because of fear, as Rudolph Giuliani said when they plowed in hundreds of millions for the new Yankee Stadium and Citi Field where the Mets play. He said, Rudolph Giuliani said, well, we can't have a referendum because if we do, the people won't vote for it.
That's what I'm saying.
And so they did, yeah.
And Dallas they would have too if they could have.
Well, that is
the mindset of wanting to pay for that and not wanting to pay for social services.
And it's a terrific question. It's a terrific question. I mean, the public funding of stadiums has become a substitute for anything resembling an urban policy in this country, and it has for several decades. Now, there's less money now in the states to go towards public subsidies, and that was a fundamental reason that's been given by Roger Goodell and the NFL owners, for example, for why they need 20% pay cuts among players, because they said we're not getting the public subsidies we thought we were going to get since the 2008 crash. And I think one of the things that's revealed is like, Jennifer Granholm, the former governor of Michigan, she once had this line about General Motors where she said it's a healthcare provider now that just happens to make cars. And it's like you could say about sports over the last 20 years is that it's been a highly leveraged, highly profitable, highly dangerous real estate scam where people happen to play games. And
what it relieves stress. You see, and that cuts down on health.
Well, watch the Cowboys play. It did not really relieve stress for the Cowboys fans, certainly. There's a question there. Yes, and then I'll call on you, sir. I'm sorry.
Not so much a question as a request for comment on the San Francisco Giants recently said that they would endorse Dan Savage's Make It Better campaign to teenagers to kill yourself to let you through.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm glad you mentioned that. And it's another example that we are looking at a sea change with regards to LGBT rights in sports. I thought another as significant as that, it was nice to see everybody, was Charles Barkley's statements after Rick Welts came out of the closet, the executive with the Phoenix Suns, where I mean, the media missed this so badly. They focused on this part of what Charles Barkley said, where he said, I know I played with gay teammates, it didn't bother me, I just cared if they should play. That became like this huge like sports radio thing, like who was Barkley's gay teammate? Let's discuss. Instead of the other part of his statement, which was really interesting, he said, with all due respect for ESPN, I'm tired of ESPN telling me as an athlete that I must be intolerant of gay people. And he said, that's don't assume what I think about these issues. And I thought that was actually a more important thing because it shows, like, in a lot of ways, and many times, like sports media, particularly ESPN with its power and reach, imposes these debates which can actually be false debates about what players would or would not accept, what their attitudes may or may not be. And it's not surprising that the Giants are the first team to be a part of this, not just because it's San Francisco, but also they were the first team to ever do AIDS awareness. And do entire evenings that had to do with AIDS awareness at the park. I mean, but it's not alone either. It goes with what I was talking about before about Sean Avery and Steve Nash speaking out for marriage equality, the commercial with Grant Hill, the comments by Charles Barkley. You do get the feeling that we are actually looking at a sea change that's existing in the world of sports, and that's something that's really welcome because as Martina Navratilova, her comment after Kobe dropped the F-bomb and got the $100,000 fine. She said, and I hadn't heard this statistic before, but she said that 90% of teachers, if they hear a child call another child a homophobic epithet, the teacher does nothing. And so it's like this message is sent about dehumanization at a very young age. And anytime you can stand up against that, and anytime there's a voice against that, that's a very positive thing. Yes, sir. Oh, sorry. Yes, sir.
Me?
Yes.
Can you comment on Ralph Nader's proposal that college athletic scholarships for football teams should end in colleges?
Yeah, I don't like that proposal, and it's nothing. It's not personal about Ralph Nader. And actually, he's done a lot of very good fan advocacy. He started a group called League of Fans, which has done over the years has done good work. But I think if you revoke. First of all, obviously, and I don't know if I can say this at the University of Texas, but the whole college athletic sports system is so, there's a young person here, but I don't want to say what I really think about it. But it's so fucked up. I mean, it's like, people look at this from other countries. Talk to someone in another country and we're like, yeah, you know, our colleges, that's the feeder system for pro sports. They're just like, are you insane? Is that really how your universities work? They're the minor leagues for your pro team? Yeah, that's how it works, yep. And sometimes entire communities, like in South Bend, Indiana, where Notre Dame is, they're dependent on the football team being good, and then the whole community economically is able to survive. But if the football team at the local college is bad, then everybody suffers. Like, really? And we're all supposed to emulate America? Oh wow, what a lovely economic model you guys have developed for yourselves. And it's really so backward, and that I can understand Nader's frustration in being like, just end all college scholarships. The problem with it is that you then ask yourself, who does that punish? And who does that hurt? It ends up hurting the very people who at the very bottom of the barrel are able to get something out of this arrangement, and those are the student athletes themselves.
What do you think about ending tax exempt status of athletics in colleges because they're operating as a business?
Yeah, the NCAA, I mean, I'm not usually like a big proponent of the TV show South Park, but if you get the chance to watch last week's show, you really should. I mean, I think those guys generally are idiots. They're South Park, yeah. But if you can go online and watch last week's show, it's a brilliant parody of the NCAA as being a modern-day slave plantation, where the character Cartman goes to the president of the University of Colorado and pretends to be a slave owner and saying, I'm trying to organize a slave plantation. How do you organize your slaves? And he goes, we don't have slaves, we're the NCAA. But you don't pay them, right? He's like, we don't pay them, no, they're amateur athletes. And you make money, right? Well, of course we make money. Slaves! And it's really brilliant. And so yeah, I think the NCAA is just like belongs in a fiery pit of
very
hypocrisy.
sorry, by the way, at this point.
sorry.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Dave. I got a call from the UT athletic director, and with that answer, we are being pulled out of the in all seriousness, we lose the room at 9 o'clock, and I'm so sorry to cut off such a lovely debate that I think is important for this country and is important for this profession. But we need to wrap up soon, but Dave will be here.
We're selling the movie for $20. If you actually belong to an institution of higher learning, if you could get the school itself to buy it at an institutional price, it would allow us to make parts 2 through 97 of not just a game. But if you just want it for home use, please get a copy. We'll go to the table outside.
Well, are you Terry Todd?
Yes.
My name's John Tate. I'm sorry. Roll with that one. I imagine that. Well, I thought so too. In fact, we were saving seats. Yeah, right. Anyway, yeah, I guess so.
So much. Oh, the Jim Brown. Yeah. Because I didn't
Do I have to pay tax?
No, it's tax exempt. Sweet. You should do it. You're gonna do it. You're gonna do it. I really want to do it.
What's
Yes, I never had a chance to mention saying that, even though you weren't able to make it out 3 years ago. I really enjoyed the interview. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't do sports that often, but Brian and have you on the radio again. Is your contact info here up to date? Yeah. Okay. Great. So there's up to date here then.